Have you heard? There's a new way to add side thrusters to your sail or powerboat. The new DOCKSTAR Smart Thruster is a compact and lightweight system weighing in at only 26 pounds and yet is able to produce up to 70 pounds of thrust. It is completely self-contained with its own internal lithium iron phosphate batteries and is wirelessly controlled. It consists of two 400-watt motors, aluminum shaft with its integrated track guide, and a top control faceplate. Inside the shaft are 120 hours of battery. That's lithium iron phosphate battery at 120 watt hours. The radio receiver electronics, the battery management system, and the motor control electronics. On the top faceplate is the radio antenna, the charger port for recharging the batteries, and a single on-off button with a status LED. And the status LED provides battery status as well as other useful information. Once turned on, the unit is controlled by a remote transmitter unit, and this can be configured to control both the bow and the stern thrusters in a single transmitter. It is a simple and yet very effective system. The housing is powder coated, and the motor drive shafts are stainless steel, making this unit ideally suited for saltwater environments. There is even an oversized zinc anode at the base of the unit. The unit slides up and down a standard shaper T-track. The T-track is mounted to a section of standard stainless steel tubing. The standard steel tubing is mounted to your boat using standard rail hardware. Typically that involves 2 bolts at the top and 2 bolts at the bottom. It really is that simple to mount a smart thruster to your boat. And since it is completely self-contained and wireless, there's no wiring to be done.
Once the T-track and stainless tube have been mounted to the boat, the stern thruster can be mounted by aligning its track guide to the T-track, sliding the thruster down the track, and then securing its lanyard. The thruster is now ready to be deployed. The bow thruster is similarly mounted. Align the thruster's track guide to the T-track by touch if necessary. Slide the thruster down the track and secure it with the lanyard. Now it is ready to be deployed as well. The thruster can be dismounted simply by sliding the thruster off the T-track. This is the same for both the stern thruster and bow thruster. To deploy the stern thruster, turn it on and lower it to the track stop. It is very quick and easy. To retract the thruster, raise it up on the track, secure the lanyard, and turn the thruster off. The bow thruster is deployed the same as the stern thruster. Turn on the thruster, release the lanyard, and lower it to the track stop. Retracting the bow thruster is equally easy. Raise it up the track, secure the lanyard, and turn the thruster off. Now that we have mounted and deployed the thrusters, let's go for a ride. This is a 38-foot trawler with a single engine and single fixed prop. The prop lock moves the stern to starboard, but we need to move the stern to port to exit the dock. To complicate things, there is only 1.5 boat lengths clearance between the end of the slip and the shallows. As we back out, the prop lock wants to drive the stern into the dock. To counteract this, we use a small amount of port stern thruster. Once we are halfway out, we can apply more port stern thruster and start to turn the boat in the right direction. Once we are completely out of the slip, we can also apply some starboard bow thruster to turn the boat in place, never getting too close to the shallows behind. Now let's try docking the boat, only we are going to make it more difficult by backing into the slip. We use port bow thrust and starboard stern thrust to turn the boat 90 degrees in one place. As we back into the slip, we use a little bit of thruster to maintain the boat straight within the slip. Then we use both thrusters, pushing to port, to move the boat to the dock. The port thrusting can be held while the skipper calmly gets off the boat and secures the lines. Let's try it on a windy day. Here the wind is blowing the boat to port. This trawler has a large amount of windage, so the wind is able to quickly blow it downwind. That's a lot of wind force. Fortunately, using both thrusters together to push the boat to starboard, the wind is easily defeated. Let's put that to use when undocking. The wind immediately starts to blow the bow downwind into the neighboring boat and turning the trawler in the wrong direction. A little bit of starboard bow thruster counteracts the wind and allows us to turn while backing in the desired direction. In this case, there is no need to use the stern thruster since the wind is blowing the stern downwind, while the bow thruster pushes the bow to starboard. Now let's try something really tough. Let's leave the slip and turn the boat 180 degrees in one spot, being sure to avoid the shallows 1.5 boat lengths beyond the end of the slip. Once we are clear of the neighboring boat, we turn the stern thruster onto starboard and the bow thruster onto port. Even this large, heavy trawler turns responsively and quickly completes the 180-degree turn. This demonstrates just how effective the DOCKSTAR Smart Thrusters really are. Once the boat is back inside the slip, the thrusters can be used to move the boat to the dock and hold it securely while the skipper gets out to secure the lines. Bow and stern thrusters greatly improve the maneuverability of all boats, making boating safer and more enjoyable for you and your first mate. The DOCKSTAR Smart Thruster is by far the cheapest and easiest way to add bow and stern thrusters to your boat. Happy boating!